Hey, Andrew Joseph Keith here again. I wanted to just give you guys an update on what's happening with Studio remodel. And so I'm just going to be walking you through that and telling you guys what I've been up to with that, and also inviting you guys, if you can, to come and sculpt with me in June. So if you can travel to Iowa and you'd like to come and see the new studio space and sculpt with me and interact directly, I think that there's a lot of benefit that comes from uh, sculpting and learning directly from somebody in a space where there's other people, and there's just an energy that's a little bit different than learning online. So that's why I've wanted to do it. It's a little bit messy right now. I'm kind of a messy person, so forgive that, but we'll go ahead and take a look. So the neighbor was really good to donate some of the windows. They replaced some of their windows, and so a lot of I mean, it was really generous, but it's probably like $3,000 worth of windows that were not that used and that I was able to put in. So this was one of those windows. This window up here was gotten secondhand at Habitat for Humanity. I think that was like $50 or something like that. And so I put those windows up. They were just barn windows before, and I'd like to eventually do a door right here on this side so that these barn doors can be most of the time shut, but just if I need to move something big or park the car in there, then they can be for that. But I'd like to have a separate door over on this side. All right, let's go inside. Oh, and then a lot of the work I've been doing, let me show you. A lot of the work I've been doing is up on the roof. So can you guys see that? So if you see those ladders, so I have one of the ladders. I got some heavy duty rope that can hold quite a bit of weight, and I've tied that to a tree on the other side and then hung one of the ladders because I didn't have a ladder that was tall enough. So I climb up to one ladder and then climb up to the other one. But I've put I don't know if you can see it up there. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. Up at the very top, there's a little hook. There's a little hook. I've nailed and bolted some hookups so that I can strap myself down with some roofing equipment, so that even though I'm on those rickety ladders, hopefully I won't fall and injure myself. That would be really unfortunate. That's what I've been doing, trying to patch the roof. That's been quite the project. Okay, let's come in here. Okay, so these windows back here were also recently put in. There's well, I'll just turn you guys around so that you can, I'll just walk through this way so that things are in focus. So you can see there's that window with a curtain that I recently put up. Some of the extra windows, one of them is broken, but I have one more that'll probably go to the red barn over there. I've reinforced this wall, so before each of these pillars, there was just these beams coming down every other pillar, but I've put in some more 2x4s just to reinforce this whole wall, just because I wanted to feel extra safe. On the other side over here, I'd like to do just a couple more. I think there's like 4 other 2x4s that I'll be putting up eventually, but that, you know, is going to these floor beams and just gives me another level of safety for the floor up there. I've also, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but these beams here, you can see that there's one that's a lighter beam and then the darker beam, but for some reason they didn't end the beams right where this post was, so it was ended like right before. So this whole section right here was not supported by a post. It was just supported by some wood that was strapped together to hold up the beams. So I went and I put in some treated wood down at the bottom and then some pillars, and got that really snug, nailed that in place. So now this support right here is actually supporting this section of the second floor. And the same thing was happening on the other side. So I reinforced all of that. Now it's super secure. The floor should be really secure as well. So I got some of these at the dollar store, at Dollar Tree. They're like $1.25 for these floor. They're like pet mat things. But I think per square foot, well, I can't find it, but these are maybe like 20 inches by 20 inches, something like that. So it's less than $1 a square foot, which is really cheap for flooring, and they're fairly nice. So I'm thinking that upstairs I will put down a permanently tacky glue that you put down, and then I can just stick these in place, and if any of them are ruined, I'll just go and grab some different ones. And so I grabbed out all the ones that I could find, and I'll probably just, as I go to the dollar store, the Dollar Tree, just look for these, and when I find them, I'll grab them, and hopefully that'll work as a flooring solution upstairs. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm actually going to open these doors up just to get a little bit more light in the studio. But this is another recent project, just a sculpting table that I built. I got some of these caster wheels on Temu. They're like heavy duty caster wheels. Said that there was like a 2,000 pound limit. I thought it came with 4, but then it only came with 3. So I decided, well, make do with what I had. So I made this tripod based thing out of mostly scraps from the build that I've been doing. A little place for my tools with a lip so things don't fall off, and a seat over here on this side so that I can sit up here, and some support. You can see I've tried to really make sure it's overly engineered with lots of support on the bottom side. So this takes some of the weight, and there's like, anyway, really heavy duty. It's kind of fun. I was just kind of making it up as I go. There wasn't like a big plan, but I wanted to overbuild it so that I could have like stone pieces or really heavy pieces that are, maybe, 300 to 500 pounds or something, and not worry about it collapsing or anything like that. Maybe I'll stain it eventually, but that was a fun little side project that I was working on. So also relatively new is I moved this bench in place, and it's really messy. I apologize for the mess. But this bench has outlets. It was in another building, so this was not built by me. It was built by somebody who owned this property before, but it's got a bunch of outlets. Looks like it was used for painting quite a bit, and I just plugged that in over with some of the outlets that I have, and so that's kind of my work bench area, and also where I store some of the wood for. This will probably be for a playground or something. It's outdoor treated lumber that I'd like to maybe build a playground for the kids or something like that. I was patching the roof with something cheaper, but that is not working too well, and so now I'm going through and I'm caulking the roof with some of this. That's for window and door and for outdoors, and these are like, I think, almost $4 a tube. Then I'm also using this fabric that gives it some support and some backing, and so I put a little bit of the caulking and then some fabric, and then I put more caulking over top, and that way it really has a seal between all of the metal roof sheets, and so that hopefully will be a good solution that'll last a long time and better than the solution that I was trying before. That's a work in progress. Oh, also fairly new is this really janky looking fireplace that I basically just built myself, and this metal part was a broiler from the house. So when the house was, wood furnace heated a while ago, then this was the part of the broiler, and I cut the top off, and then I just decided to bring it out. It's on top of a cast iron pot anyway, and then on top of some stone and things. And it's just a fireplace to heat up a little bit during the winter, and I've just been burning some of the scrap pieces of wood that I've got from the build. So just a way to get rid of the waste and also heat the building, though I'll probably eventually have another heating solution. I might get rid of the fireplace entirely just because it's it's not super attractive, or maybe I'll get a nicer one, and I do want everything to look nice. So, but for now, this is just kind of a solution. Look, there's wires hanging down that I haven't taken down because I changed the way I was supporting everything. Clean up. I guess I should have cleaned up before the video, but I just want to show you guys where things are at. And this is just the reality of that I'm kind of a messy artist, but I'll clean it up by the time we're doing the workshop and everything. And let's go look at the upstairs. So here we have I've been saving the insulation. Some of this insulation was in the walls downstairs. It's not that great, but what I was planning on was using it for the ceiling. So right now I'm working on closing off this ceiling area. This is something that I've been working on. So the boards that are going this way, this middle section, the boards will be going this way. And then this section, the board still again be going that way. I need some 2x4s to support it, and I'll do basically what I've done on this side. And then I'll put down some sort of fabric, roofing fabric or something, and then the insulation on top, so it'll be like a blown insulation. But insulation is really expensive, and so I didn't want to waste all that, and there's some more downstairs that I can use. So as a way to still utilize it, I'm just going to be putting it in this whole roof section right there. And then the walls, eventually I will hopefully get new insulation so that it's nice and insulated in here. And then you can see, but there's a color difference in the floor. So this is flooring that I did a little while ago. Then I realized that the weather, the rain does come down and affect the floor a little bit. So I was going to wait to do the rest of the flooring, but then I just got anxious and I just did it. But I think I'll be able to go and seal off the roof once it gets warm. It just has to be below freezing during the night so that the caulk can have time to cure. But this is flooring that I just put in yesterday. Oh, I also built in the railing for the stairs. I don't know if that was there last time. So some support that goes all the way up to the roof. And then this railing, I decided I'd put a triangular shaped kind of tabletop type deal for if I want to put a camera up here, just have a place to work or something. It's messy. This is from when I'm nailing these beams. There's like dust and dirt and like little pieces of wood that fall down just because the beams are really old. So as I'm like securing them back together or nailing them back together, making sure that laminate is close together, the dust in between falls all over the place, and then I have to sweep it up. So here I have, I think this is the last, right here, it's the last little part that needs some flooring, so I'll be cutting these up and putting them in this section right here. And that should be the last of this second layer of wood flooring. So this flooring should be really secure. It's a fun space. It's been fun to work on. We got a lot of natural light coming in through these windows. Natural light coming in here, which I like. I also have this big softbox that I put together. Fun project, and I can lower that down for if we have models or need it to use it for photography or anything like that, or just a nice studio light. The lighting here is a little bit cool. It's like shop lights, so it's a little bit, it's like bluish, more than I like. I'd like it to be more closer to white light, or a little bit warmer, I would prefer, but I just used what I had, and so I might redo that eventually. And then I've got electric, I've done electric throughout, and so put outlets, one over there, 2 right here, and then 2 more right there. So we should have power. Right now I just buried an extension cord that goes to another shop in the yard that has electricity. So that was kind of the power solution for the time being. So these windows back here, so these ones are from the neighbors. So big thank you to the neighbor for donating those windows. And then this glass door was at Habitat for Humanity for, I think it was like $30 or $50 or something, for a big glass door. It actually opens, so the glass door swings open like a normal door for if I want to get some more airflow in the building. Oh, actually, we have this section too that needs some flooring. So what does the barn still need? It still needs insulation. That's going to be one of the most expensive things. I knew that was going to be like the most expensive thing from the start, because a lot of the wood I've been able to get it at Lowe's at discount. I think so far I've probably spent like between $1,000 and $1,500 on all of the materials for like the wood for the flooring was around $400 or $450, and I've been able to use a lot of the materials that were just in this building, and then I've gotten more wood for the stairs. I think that was under $500, or it was like around $300 for the wood for the stairs, and so all in all, I'd say under $1,500. The insulation is probably going to be like $3,000 or so to insulate it. And then what I'm thinking of doing over top of the insulation, putting in the insulation between these beams and doing wire or something to hold the insulation in place. I'd like to get rock wool, which is really good sound properties, and it's just a good type of insulation. So that's the plan. And then I think I'd like to do fabric over top. So either a heavy duty canvas fabric or even just using like sheets, like bed sheets that I get them at secondhand. So putting those up and then painting them a consistent color, but allowing it to still be breathable. So maybe like some watered down paint or something. And what that does is it really helps get all the benefit from the rock wool insulation. Because if you do wood or if you do drywall over top of the rock wool, then that kind of bounces the sound around in the room. And I want it to be a really good space for recording content and live streams and that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to try to do like a fabric type of solution for the insulation. You know, it's going to be kind of an experiment. I'll see how it looks. I'll try to do it in a way that looks nice. Should be fun, and I'm still working out all the details. So if you think you'd like to come and sculpt with me, and if you'd like to help out with the costs of the barn and things like that, then consider joining the in-person workshop. That's going to be in June 12th through the 14th. And we're going to be sculpting the figure in person. I'll provide all the materials that you need. We're going to do it in polymer clay so that by the end you'll have a sculpture that can be baked in a normal oven and then have a finished sculpture to show off and to present. So that's going to be the goal of the workshop, is making sure that you can walk away with something that you're happy with and hopefully really beneficial learning experience for anybody that's interested in sculpting. There's just going to be 10 spots for that workshop, and so once those are full, then that's going to be it, and we'll do another one in the future. But if you can, try to join the workshop. There's links down in the description below. Or if you're interested in learning online, which is more convenient and less expensive, then be sure to check out my sculpting courses, which are also really beneficial, and that really helps me out. That's how I make the majority of my income to support my family, so I really appreciate anybody that supports and wants to learn sculpting and is willing to invest in those courses that I've worked really hard on and I think are a good deal, and lots of good information are included in those. Okay, here's the view. I'll show you guys the view from in the back. So here's the view in the back. Should get nicer. We need to get another trailer because at some point somebody used this back area as like their own personal landfill. Eventually we need to get a trailer and just take some trips to the dump to get rid of some of the garbage back there. Nice view back here. There's some of the other barns back there. I'll try to keep you updated with the project and with other projects and sculpting videos and other things that I find to be interesting. So if that sounds interesting, then I hope you'll come along for the journey. Now might be a good time to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, if you'd like to eventually build your own studio space out of a old barn, an old horse barn, then maybe this will serve as some inspiration for you. It's been a lot of work, and I'm really grateful that I have online, that a lot of my income comes from the online courses, because that's allowed me to have a little bit of free time to be able to do this work, and I really appreciate that. And good to just do something physical that's kind of creative, but that's just different. It's just a different mindset than sculpting, and I like to have different things to do. And so if I get tired of one thing, I can come work on something else, which for me, just how my brain works, is really beneficial. Okay, till next time, stay creative, stay productive. Hopefully I'll see you again soon in another video.